What's going on? How are you? It's really nice to be in your space. I always really super love chatting with all of you right before we get started. So a lot of the times I forget to start because I love chatting with all of you so much. Today is going to be intense. It's going to be mind-blowing, like literally mind-blowing or mind-bending. I mean, either or. I really highly recommend getting a notebook out. You don't have to write down every single word that I say, but maybe some high-level concepts, maybe some words that you want to revisit. Today's going to be, I would say for the most part, brand new information for you because this was all downloaded and channeled to me in the past year, and it was completely brand new information for me. Not saying that I am the end all to be all of information, but I've definitely asked a lot of questions, and this stuff is brand new. So I want to say that I'm going to explain it the best that I can, but if you feel like I'm fumbling for words or I'm not as concise as I usually am, it's because this is really new and I actually haven't sorted out the details. That being said, I do want to mention that I actually ended up channeling a whole book on this concept of the brand new 5D karma system, uploading, downloading information in 5D in the new earth, and past life imprinting, what it is and how we can apply it in the new earth frequency. I have a whole book on it. It's extremely complex. Once again, I sat down to edit the book just a couple months ago, and I really felt a pushback, and the message that I received is that humanity isn't ready for the book yet. Doesn't mean that I'm never going to release it, because it's written. I mean, I think it's around 60,000 words. And that probably is going to be released in 2023. So I'm halfway through the second book. I actually just started this Galactic Federation channeling book in December, but it's taking me a lot longer than my past two books that I wrote, just because it takes a lot out of me. So anyway, I just want to let you know that today's video is a very, very, very small chunk of information, even though it's going to be a lot of information on an entire book that I wrote. So I'm going to try and go as high level as possible. And I want to plant the seed for you as far as this brand new information. If it's going to be still another year or two before I release this book and edit it properly, then at least I want to plant this seed of knowledge and information so that you can start unlocking that aspect and utilizing these gifts, because that's what it is. This new 5D system is a huge gift, and I believe that I'm a part of upgrading these old spiritual systems. I believe that pretty much every single spiritual system that we have been exploring is rooted in third dimension frequency, which is great, but we need an upgrade. And I believe that I'm a part of this upgrade, and at least I'm channeling parts of the upgrade, and this information is a huge part of it. Before I get started, before I deep dive into it, let's do the intuitive mug. Okay, today's intuitive mug is what do I say about it? It is the most unusual drink I will ever probably have on the intuitive mug, okay? So what I want to mention to you with the intuitive mug is try not to guess what you think the liquid is. Try and tap into the color, the flavor. It's bizarre. I'm telling you right now, it's really bizarre. Okay, what else do I want to say about it? That's it. I'm gonna get you to tell me what you think it is, or at least the color, the texture, the flavor. Is it bitter? Is it sweet? Is it hot? Is it cold? Okay, at the end. So don't tap into it now. I'll show you. This is the mug. I mean, of course, you can't really tell. You're not supposed to. And I'll take a sip of it. So I want you to kind of taste it with me. Yeah, it's a really, really tough one. For those of you who don't know what the intuitive mug is, it's basically a brand new thing that I'm doing. Basically like a psychic test. For all of you, I have just a regular mug with some type of liquid in it. and you're supposed to tap into that liquid and basically kind of throw out a guess. You guys have been pretty good, and once again, today is extremely, extremely odd. So I really don't think anyone's actually going to guess the liquid. That's why I'm saying guess the texture, guess the flavor, guess maybe the color, rather than the liquid itself. All right, cool. Okay, so these are all my notes that I channeled in smelly gel pen, just an FYI. Every time I write with this gel pen, I always smell the page. So I always get like sparkly stuff on my nose. Anyway, ridiculous. But I love it. Like, not only do I love having color and vibration aligned to the words itself, but then you add smell. It's like, let's just get all the senses going into this information. All right. So of course, be sure to like, share this video, and subscribe for more epic content. I really do appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you subscribing and sharing the content. Two things to think about today, two pieces of information, I don't know. One is Galactic Federation recording. If you really want a high-level update on what 2022 is going to be all about, then I highly recommend checking out the January Galactic Federation recording, which I really feel like was 3 months ago, but it was actually just a week ago or a couple days ago. Yeah, a couple days ago. So check out the Galactic Federation Summit. So many epic beings came through, so many wise words, so many incredible pieces of information about upgrading and 2022, and what we can do as human beings to navigate that frequency. And then I'm really excited to actually, we just finalized the 20-page Love Attraction workbook today. I mean, it's so valuable. Like, this 2-hour, maybe 2.5-hour event, Love Attraction event, February 14th, is so valuable. Like, I mean, the workbook alone is just mind-blowing. So check it out. It's 2222. It's happening on February 14th. So if you're single, if you're in a relationship, if you're looking to really up-level your love life, whether you're single or in a relationship, definitely check out this event. Watch the event with your loved one, or just watch it alone on Valentine's Day, because it's really going to help to shift you. And I really do believe that 2022 is going to be a year where all of these lost star seeds realign to the highest vibrational frequency in relationships. Remember that 2 is that twin flame number. It is that relationship number. And yes, I don't believe in the rhetoric or the words of twin flames, because I believe we are multidimensional beings, but I do believe everyone has their human, and I do believe that there's a lot of activities, skill, value that is put into this workshop that's really going to help people align. I didn't even know that I had it in me until I started channeling it. I'm like, holy, this is incredible. So check it out. All right, let's just dive into it. So I want to talk about the old 3D past life system, super important. Okay. Now, maybe you know, maybe you don't know, I got my career started in past life regression. That was a huge part of my own awakening, so that's something that I really wanted to help other people do. So I have a big background in regression and past lifetimes. So here's what I understand the old 3D past life system as: physically moving through lifetimes. Once again, the old past life system is physically moving through lifetimes. Okay. What do we do when we physically move through different lifetimes? We learn lessons, and then we also incur karmic debt. And then at the same time, we hop into lifetimes to clear the karmic debt so that we can move forward. So there's kind of 3 things that take place in every single lifetime. We learn lessons, we incur karmic debt, and we clear karmic debt, and we move on. And we learn lessons, and we incur karmic debt, and we clear karmic debt, and we move on. Now, think about it. Typically, like in the past, in the 3D earthly system, if that's what you want to call it, the karmic energy and I'm going to explain a lot about karma in a second. The karmic energy that we're clearing in a past life is typically karmic energy that we created many, many lifetimes ago. If you've ever done any sort of past life work, you know, I have issues with abundance because of that past lifetime that happened 1,000 years ago. Okay? And then you repeat those cycles over and over and over again. That is an old system. We are not taking any aspect other than karma into these new earth systems. Past lives are going to look entirely different. Karma is going to look entirely different. Clearing karma is going to look entirely different. All right? So, yes, once again, the karmic debt that we clear today is typically incurred a very long time ago. All right, let's talk about karma. So, okay, this is like I literally wrote many, many, many chapters on karma. Like I really everything that I say here, I have like 10 chapters on each thing. So I really unpack it in this book that I channeled in 2021. Okay. Another word that I use, the other words that I use for karma, because karma is like, I don't know, I feel like we're like, oh, well, that's good karma. Oh, well, that's bad karma. I feel like we use it, I feel like everyone has their own perception of it. The way that I would define it in different terms would be energetic reverberation. And I want you guys, if you have your notebooks, write that down. Karma equals energetic reverberation. That is all that it is. Any thought, any action, any reaction creates a ripple effect into your reality. Eventually, that ripple effect will come back into your reality. Okay? All karma is energetic reverberation. The more high vibrational reverberation you output, the more high vibrational reverberation comes back to you. I think we can all agree on that, all right? That's just the way that I describe it and define it. Like I said, many, many chapters deep diving into karma. Okay. So karma can be good or bad. Essentially, karma can be at a high vibrational frequency or a low vibrational frequency. Karma is cyclical, I think that's a word, which basically means that it happens in cycles, and it doesn't mean like every 3 lifetimes or every 3 years it happens. I've never actually been aware of a pattern. The only pattern that I've ever been aware of with karma is any energetic reverberation that you refuse to allow into your life. So you kick the cyclical energetic reverberation out of your life, right? When you refuse that, it'll just keep coming back and coming back and coming back, usually in more intense and more forceful ways until it's in your face to the point where you have to deal with it. Okay, that's the only kind of pattern that I've noticed with karma is it's not a yearly thing. It's not a 3-year thing. It's not, but it will come back. And if you ignore it, it'll come back again. And thank you, Sharma, for that beautiful super chat. I appreciate that. Okay. So a huge misconception about karma is that, and once again, I really unpacked this in the book, but I want to give you a high-level overview. A huge misconception, actually a misconception that I had when I started to look into past lifetimes and karmic debt and contracts and all of that, is that I believed that karma was only created on this planet. I did not believe that karma was created anywhere else in the universe. I think that was, ignorance is a bit of a strong word, but I just think I had lack of knowledge. I now understand that karma can be created or incurred anywhere in the universe, and karma can be cleared anywhere in the universe. So, I want to explain to you very clearly why a lot of channelers have called this planet a prison planet or a prison system. Once again, I have a whole chapter on that. Thank you so much, Angela. That was super, super generous. I really appreciate that. So Other channelers have described this planet as a prison planet. Now, when I first heard that term, which was a long time ago, I was like, part of that resonates and part of that does not resonate with me. So it wasn't until many years after I heard that term, actually probably just a couple years ago, and definitely within this book, where I finally unpacked this term and I finally fully understood why this planet is looked at as a prison system. Now, first of all, we have shadow governments, we have the elite systems, we have energies here that are very dense, very daunting, and do kind of keep us small and do dull us out from thinking and opening up consciously. So that's definitely a part of it. But karmically, right? A lot of channelers have said, oh, well, karma only really exists on planet Earth. And it doesn't. You could be a Palladian being and you could be incarnated on planet Earth. And as a human being, you're clearing Palladian karma. I have seen this time and time again. So many starseeds have had major, major traumas from different planets, from different lifetimes, in different dimensions, and they are actually clearing that energy here on planet Earth. I have had clients who were the root cause of a whole planet or a whole civilization dying out or exploding, and they have taken that guilt with them to this planet only to re-experience that feeling of, now I have to spend every single waking moment giving back to humanity because I feel bad that I ruined my humanity in a past life. And of course, we talk that out and unpack that, and I let them know that, hey, that was a collective decision. That wasn't on you. But time and time again, I see prior karma from other dimensions being played out and cleared in this lifetime. The reason why I would say planet Earth is in particularly special when it comes to karma is, okay, the shadow governments, reptilian beings, or, these beings who are kind of in control on this planet, they understand karma. They understand the way that the system works, and they also understand universal law. If they didn't understand universal law, then they would be kicked off a very, very long time ago. Because they understand universal law, and they never actually utilize our free will, they just convince us to utilize our free will so that, they're skirting around some universal laws. Anyway, they're very much so able to manipulate the systems here because they understand the systems. And one of the systems that they're able to manipulate is karma. So what they've done, unfortunately, through child sex trafficking and a lot of other horrendous sexual exploitations, is they have created a karmic debt system on planet Earth that is so frequency specific that any being that lives a lifetime on planet Earth and experiences a part of this sexual trauma, it's specifically sexual, they are almost forced to come back to planet Earth. So although you could be a Palladian who had a lot of traumas from a different lifetime coming to planet Earth, you can clear that karma from other lifetimes as a human being. Being a human being and wanting to say, you know what, I've done this for a couple lifetimes now and I'm out of here. Unfortunately, there is no other planet out there where you can experience the same sort of trauma in the same sort of frequency to be able to clear it. This is why we are locked in to coming back to this planet lifetime after lifetime. This is the so-called prison planet system. This is what I've channeled, all right? Once again, I don't do any external research. I have no idea what the current rhetoric is out there about this information. This is what I've channeled. Take it or leave it, as always. And it really resonates with me. And so that's why so many starseeds are so traumatized with sexuality and so traumatized with just sex and porn and really twisted things that we don't deserve to battle with, because we've been targeted in past lifetimes because we are starseeds. And not only was the target meant to lower our vibration, but the target was meant to lock us into this planet so that we don't get reprieve. so that after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime of being a human being, being born without our memories, and not having the reprieve of going back to the ship, going back to the Pleiades, going back to Andromeda, and remembering who we are, and then having to come back, we have less tools. Okay, this is all planned. This is a whole crazy plan, and pretty intelligent, but also so twisted, and we're healing from that. All right. Anyway, it's a whole chapter in the book, basically the matrix system and how twisted it is. But I wanted to explain the prison planet system to you. I want to explain how unique karma is to this planet. In all the other ways, karma is not unique to this planet. And that's really important to note. And I think a lot of channelers get pieces of the information, but they haven't really asked maybe enough questions to receive the whole picture. I don't even think I have the whole picture because I'm still questioning things all the time. But it's important to kind of see a broader perspective around this. Okay, good. So that's karma. Hopefully you're taking notes. Let's talk about the new 5D system. Okay, so karma still exists. And thank you, Lars, for that super chat. Karma still exists, but two things. One, we don't create as much of it in the 5D system. And there are two reasons why in the new Earth 5D system, we do not create as much karma. Actually, three. One just popped in. The one that just popped in is obviously the powers that be, the shadow government, the reptilian overlords, whatever you want to call them, okay? They're going away. So because they're going away, child sex trafficking is going away, sexual exploitation is going away, major traumas that they're creating to rope us back in again are going away. If they're going away, a whole slew of karmic damage is going away. Their whole matrix prison planet system is going away. And thank you, Revel, for that super chat. Love all these different currencies too. Very cool. So number one, okay, karma is changing. Karma is still here, but it's changing and it's getting less intense because the powers that be are going away. Two, okay, what's the second one? Yes, we are learning as starseeds, more so remembering as starseeds how to neutralize karma. We're learning how to neutralize. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later down the line. And number three, we are imprinting lifetimes rather than living them. And when we imprint lifetimes, we are born without karma. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. Okay. Number two, karma still exists, but we are clearing karma in a brand new way. And the way that we are clearing karma these days, or the way that we have the capacity to clear it, is actually through something that I call uploading. And this is really cool. And I do want to talk about this a little bit further. And I'm like, do I want to talk about it now? Okay, I'll wait to talk about it. Neutralizing. Yeah, I want to talk about neutralizing. Okay. Yes, because we're going to talk about imprinting and uploading. Okay, so what is neutralizing? So essentially, like, once again, karma is an energetic reverberation. So every action, every thought, every reaction emits a frequency. That frequency eventually has to come back to us. And in that way, we are able to basically bring that energy back to us and neutralize it so that it doesn't reverberate again and again and again. When we react to karma, this is the craziest thing. So say, for example, you ended up, okay, this is just a, kind of out there example. Say, for example, in a past life, you ended up stealing food to give to your family, and you ended up getting caught stealing food, so they chopped off your hand, which actually isn't so crazy because it has happened. And unfortunately, in some countries, still happens today. So then in this lifetime, you're giving to your family, you're sacrificing yourself, you're overdoing it, you're exhausting yourself, and all of a sudden your wrist starts to hurt and you start to get, what is it called? Not Asperger's. Arthritis. You start to get arthritis in your hand. You're like, oh my God, my hand's so painful and my wrist really hurts and I just keep needing to give to my family and what's going on. You're learning that lesson. You don't have to understand that it's linked to a past lifetime in order to clear the past life, okay? You can neutralize that energy by observing your hand in pain, okay? You can neutralize the energy by observing the painful hand objectively, and then asking yourself the question, what am I learning from here? What am I learning from this experience? Maybe my weird hand pain has something to do with me sacrificing myself for my family. I mean, it sounds bizarre, but maybe they're connected. Maybe I need to start, putting healthy boundaries. Maybe my body's telling me I'm giving too much. You don't need to know the past life to learn the lesson. That is neutralizing the energetic reverberation. However, my friends, that's typically not the case with humans. Typically, we're like, oh my God, what's happening with my hand? I'm dying. I'm having a heart attack. WebMD is telling me that we got to chop the hand off. I'm clearly dying. I got to go to the hospital. I'm going to pay all this money in medical bills. And they can't figure out that anything's wrong. This is bizarre. Through the reaction to the energetic reverberation, you are reverberating that energy into your future. You're reacting to it in a frequency, which pushes that frequency into the future, which means, guess what? Give it a month. Give it a year. Oh my God, the hand energy is back. It hurts again. I'm dying again. Or, what am I learning from this? Last time it happened, I was sacrificing myself for my family. And that's the last time I had the hand pain. So maybe this is connected to the same thing, because once again, my family's in need. Once again, I feel obligated. And once again, the hand pain is back. Observe objectively, neutralize, learn the lesson. All right? Okay, cool. So hopefully that helps those of you. Once again, we all do it. Like, I freaking just had a meltdown 2 days ago because of the DMV, right? Like, I don't know what I was learning from actually I did. I finally tapped into it after my meltdown, after my reaction, because it was so intense. It was just like, it was actually like this resistance to the systems and how I felt completely helpless to the system of the DMV, the damn DMV, right? Like, I'm a Canadian. I'm not used to dealing with this system here in America, which is so twisted, and the healthcare system, like, it literally does not make sense at all. And I really feel powerless here, to the systems, and that's where the reaction came from. And I've been feeling this knot in my stomach for a year, dealing with all these DMV issues. And finally, I stepped back after the huge reaction. I said, I got to learn from this. What's happening? Finally stepped back, finally learned that I feel powerless towards the system and I'm reacting to it. And I don't need to react to it. I can surrender to it and learn from it. And hopefully I did, because I figured it out. So anyway, okay, so let's talk about imprinting. What's the DMV? You don't want to know. Okay, what is imprinting? So who here actually knows what imprinting is, or past life imprinting? I feel like it's just not talked about enough. And I do want to give credence to the person who coined the term, which I believe was Dolores Cannon. She's such a badass, honestly. She's doing well over on the other side. So yeah, so I will give her 100% props for terming that. And I think it's the best term. If I thought there was a better term, I'd probably use my own term, but past life imprinting is a great term because that's essentially what it is. For those of you who don't know what imprinting is, it is essentially the process of observing a lifetime instead of living it to gain access to the knowledge behind it. The thing about imprinting that you will lack when imprinting a past life rather than living it is the experience. You gain access to the knowledge through observing, but you do not gain access to the experience because you're missing out on living it, if that makes sense. Okay? I think Dolores explained imprinting. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know her work very well. I just really know what I've channeled on this. So I think from what she has brought through in her past life regression and off-world regressions is that some starseeds that have come to this planet, so some volunteers that have come to this planet decided that they wanted to come to this planet without karma, at least without earthly karma, to allow them to be free in doing the mission and doing the work that they needed to do. So what they did, I guess what she's brought through that they did is on board a ship, there are giant machines that these beings would hook themselves up to, and the machines, kind of like I could imagine putting on a virtual reality headset, you go through, you observe all of these lifetimes, all of these past lives, or whatever lifetimes, I guess, not past, and you learn from them. Now, this made so much sense to me because I did a lot of past life regressions where I would have 10 people over 10 years all believe that they were incarnated as Jesus. And when I check into it, I'm like, yeah, I actually kind of see you as Jesus. Like, what is going on here? But how is this possible? Now I understand that there are people who have been very significant in humanity that have had huge, huge roles and extremely full lives with extremely specific lessons that they were learning and outputs that they were basically outputting. And a lot of volunteers wanted to wanted to experience those incarnations in order to learn specific lessons from them in order to come to this planet with specific roles and pieces of information and tools from those lifetimes. Once again, the best thing about imprinting in this way is that it does not incur karma. Now, what I posed in my book was, which I still really believe, so I posed it as a question. I'm not set on it, but I'm kind of set on it, and I'll just put it out there to plant a seed. Our reality is created through our belief and observation. If I believe that I am healthy, then I am healthy. If I observe that I am healthy, then I am healthy. If I observe that it's possible to be healthy, then I believe that I'm healthy, then I'm healthy, okay? So what I posed, which I don't know if Dolores ever touched upon, but once again, I don't really know her work, and her work is vast. If you come into this lifetime and you believe because you remember, or you had a past life regression done, or you regressed yourself, and you recall a lifetime where you were murdered in a horrendous way, and you're like, man, that damn lifetime always keeps coming back, and I always try and learn from it, but I can never learn from it, and it sucks that I have this lifetime that I have to overcome. What if that lifetime was imprinted? What I'm trying to say here is, if you believe that you were traumatized or hurt from a past life that you never actually lived, are you creating karma just reacting to the lifetime that you believe that you lived? I don't know. For me, I would say, because I do believe that belief is everything and that belief creates reality, I would say yes. So then in that way, in that context, to think that a volunteer who actually doesn't have karma at all, who remembers their lifetimes, their imprinted lifetimes, it's like, wow, like I got traumatized in this lifetime where I was sold into child sex trafficking, and that was horrendous. But you never lived that life. Like, I was really pissed, actually, when I channeled all this information for this book, and I think I went into a rant in the book, because I'm like, Spirit Guides, really? GFL, really? You're waiting until 2021 to tell me this information? I was doing past life regressions in 2010. Don't you think it's more damaging than not to tell people about an imprinted lifetime if you're not picking up on the fact that it's imprinted? Because for a regressionist to understand the difference between an imprinted or a real lifetime it's impossible. You can't tell. You literally can't tell the difference until you actually ask the subconscious mind, is this imprinted? So yeah, I was mad. Still a little bit mad. And they had a whole explanation as to why they didn't tell me earlier, because I really felt bad. Like, anyway, I'm not even going to get into that, because that is a whole, like, it's all in the book. It's a whole thing. So I'm just messing with your mind. I'm just totally, you're going to have a lot to think about after this. So hopefully in a positive way. So I want to bring up something else. I want to bring up a brand new version of imprinting. So I also channeled, I was like, so are there these machines on board these ships? Is this a thing? And the answer that came back is absolutely. There are basically, once again, virtual reality machines that allow us to experience full-on lifetimes so that we learn from those lifetimes so that we can come to this planet with information from the lifetimes. What I realized upon channeling this book is that that's still 3D. Like, I really challenged the information. I said, so you have to be incarnated into an interdimensional body in order to be hooked up to this machine, in order to expend time and space to re-experience lifetimes. And I get that it's like an advanced level of the third dimension, right? It's like, you don't have to live this. You can just, watch it like a movie and learn from it. And I get that too. And that's pretty cool. That it's like fast tracking the 3D, but to really think about sitting there and getting hooked up to a machine, I'm like, sounds a little bit archaic. Like, is there anything else that we can do? And the answer came back in an astounding yes. And pretty much half my book is about this next step, which is what I call uploading and downloading from the cloud. All right. So I believe that we as souls and we as humans, but human hybrids, because we are quite divine and quite special, I believe that we have the ability to tap into cloud storage, which is just my fancy term for the Akashic records, and not only download. So think about it, right? A past life regression is you tapping in to your own Akashic records and downloading your own information from the past or potentially from the future on and off this lifetime. It's pretty cool. I believe that we can use all of the same techniques to tap into, I call it the planetary Akash, the planetary cloud storage. And I believe that we can gain access to information like who was Jesus? What was his lifetime like? We don't need a machine. We don't need a spaceship. We don't need a body that can configure to this machine in order to do this. We can do it for our own Akashic records. Why can't we do it for the entire Akashic records of the planet? Yes, we can. It's called connecting to the consciousness grid of planet Earth. It's possible. It's a thing. And it's called downloading, but that's what I call it. Downloading information from the planetary Akash. Now think about it. The universe has its own Akashic records. It has its own cloud storage. Any being throughout all of the dimensions who has ever had an experience ever in the entire history of the entire universe, both past, present, and future, is all storing their information somewhere in the universe. I believe that as hybrid beings, not as third dimensional beings, as multi-dimensional beings, we can tap into the universal Akashic records and what? Download information. Not all of it's going to be relevant to us. Most of it is not going to be relevant to us. And most of it, we're not even going to be able to really comprehend. Trust me, I've tried and it freaking breaks your brain. But tapping into the planetary Akash is powerful, and there is an infinite amount of information. So here is the 5D New Earth system of past lifetimes. We don't have to ever live another lifetime on planet Earth in order to experience all that we can experience on planet Earth. You're dealing with abundance issues, guess what you can do? And I know I'm going to make it sound like super simple, and it takes some time, but I believe we can all do this. Tap into the planetary Akashic records, tap into the cloud storage of the planet. There is someone on the planet who is wildly abundant financially, but also freaking happy. They've learned some sort of lesson that you're still struggling with. Guess what you can do? You can download that information into your soul so that you can literally stop learning that freaking lesson. You can literally stop repeating the same karmic cycle. Now, on top of downloading information, I also believe we can upload information. Typically, uploading information happens very naturally, and it doesn't have to happen with our consciousness. If you learned the lesson of healthy boundaries with your family, and there's someone even in this community who's really learning that lesson right now, someone can literally say, hey, Planetary Akash, I really need to learn how to create healthy boundaries with my family. You ask for the information and you download it from someone else around the world, from someone else in the group, or just from the Planetary Akash of someone else who has learned that in the human history. And so uploading happens naturally. And it's like, for me anyway, I'm an open book. I kind of leave myself open to the grid system and I upload my information all the time. Whoever needs this, sometimes there's information that I don't necessarily want to relay publicly and I just upload it to the cloud, which is fantastic. And then I'll relay that information a month later. And so many of you are like, oh my God, I just downloaded that a month ago. And I'm like, because I just uploaded it a month ago. And it's really freaking cool, right? This is the quantum system, my friends. This is the 5D system. Karma is always going to exist, no matter what dimension you're in, no matter what incarnation, no matter what planet or ship. If your source frequency, karma doesn't exist, right? If you're an incarnated being, separate from source, karma exists. Karma is just energetic reverberation. We can neutralize that. We can be in the present moment. We can download, we can upload, we can connect infinitely to infinite amounts of information. It is all at your fingertips, all right? Oh my goodness, this is really exciting. Okay, is there anything else? Cool, yeah, that was a lot. Hopefully that makes sense to all of you. Once again, I have a whole book on it, but it's going to be released after my current book that I'm in the middle of writing, which is it's channeled information from interdimensional beings, which really feels like it's the next one that needed to be released. And that's just like freaking so mind-blowing. I have to take a nap after every conversation with these beings because it's so intense. And I think you're going to really enjoy it. So that book will be released first. Hopefully this year. It really depends on if we get a publisher or if I self-publish again. And then definitely the Karmic Imprinting book, which is extremely complex, extremely next level to the point where I don't understand most of it. Hopefully at the point where I edit it and I release it, it's going to make more sense. But hopefully I explained it in a positive way in this video because it's a lot. Before I leave, I want to sum up what the next steps are. This is all great information, but how the frick does it apply to you in this moment? And before we get to the next steps, please, please, please be sure to like this video if you did like it. Obviously don't like it if you don't like it. And share this video. I love seeing your shares on Instagram, on social medias, on Facebook. Share it to Facebook groups, share it to friends, family members. Really, really, that's the way that you can show your love and appreciation. And thank you so much, Chris. Super, super appreciate that super chat. And subscribe. Obviously, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, but you're still watching this right now, highly recommend subscribing for more epic content. We also have a text message alert as well for every new YouTube video. So check out my link tree in my Instagram bio, and you will basically see the text message sign up. Other than that, check out the Galactic Federation Summit recording because that's pretty badass. And there's a huge download about 2022 and crystalline upgrades and many different beings coming through to really help support us. And if you feel like you need a little bit of an upgrade with love, your love life, your relationship, what have you, then definitely check out the Love Attraction event that is happening February 14th. So super exciting stuff. I'm also super pumped about my membership, my new membership program, which is not on YouTube. So please, if you're a member on YouTube, get rid of your membership, hop on over to the brand new membership program. So many goodies. I love chatting with you guys every single Saturday, coaching calls, Q&As, you name it. It's a good time, good vibes, and lots and lots and lots of brand new content that I'm releasing that will blow your mind. So here are the next steps. Number 1, please write this down. First step is energetic awareness. Please be aware of being neutral versus having energetic reverberation or karma come back into your life. So it's so important moving forward that you are energetically aware. So important. Second thing to be aware of is energetic neutralization. Oh yeah, the mug, thank you. Energetic neutralization. So just be aware of, once you are aware of the reverberation, be aware of neutralizing the energy. Third step is creating and closing cycles and karma. You can do that through neutralizing and asking yourself what you're learning. And then the fourth is learning how to upload and download. And that takes a lot of time and energy and work and kind of focus and, knowing how to do that. But I'll just plant the seed to say it's a natural process and you're already uploading and downloading. It's not a crazy thing. Yeah, and then other things that I talk about in my book is quantum linking, quantum looping, quantum convergence, and quantum linking to parallel selves, which is all pretty wild stuff. So look out for that book in the coming years. What do you think is in my mug? What do you think it tastes like? What do you think it looks like? And maybe if you're feeling very brave, what do you think it is? Once again, it's odd. It is the oddest thing I will probably ever have in my mug. I'll sip it again. Okay, we've got chamomile, kombucha, golden milk, green tea, milk, okay, turmeric, celery, green tea, cherry juice, milk, lemon, chaga. Do you think it's sweet? Do you think it's bitter? Do you have maybe a color that comes up? Spirulina, wine, magic fluid, okay, mushroom, hot chocolate, booch, orange juice, berry flavor, warm milk, beer, pickle juice. Okay, that's dope, but no. Green, brown, okay, yep. Awesome. A couple of you were close. All right. Okay, here it is. I'm gonna do it. These are great though. I keep wanting to read. Coffee, dark. Okay, here it is. Okay, my mug is chipped, just FYI. Okay, I'm gonna try and show you without spilling it. Let's see if I can maybe. It's purple, and it is taro boba tea. Taro milk boba. So for those of you who don't know what taro is, I just looked it up actually. I'm like, what is taro? Apparently it's actually a root vegetable. Apparently it's starchy, like a potato. Apparently it's kind of like a sweet potato. It tastes vanilla-y. It's got a vanilla taste. It's definitely creamy, definitely milky, but it's made with, I think, a coconut milk, and it's purple, which I love. I love the color purple. So it is like we had, I think, Japanese food or something like, oh, we had pho last night. Oh, love pho. And we had leftover taro boba. So I was like, oh my God, this is going to throw everyone off. No, it's actually so good. It's so yummy. It tastes like a sweet, creamy vanilla flavor, but it's purple, so it's pretty badass. Anyway, guys, thank you all for participating. I'm sure all of the other liquids moving forward are going to be much more normal, but I figured I'd throw one out there and really test your abilities. And I know for a fact that you're just going to get sharper and sharper with this intuitive mug. So I'm excited for next time. Thank you all so much for being here. Check me out on Instagram. Lots of great posts going out. And I love all the love. I'll see the rest of you on the membership platform and then hopefully at the Love Attraction event. Bye. See you all in the 5th dimension.